The Galactic Merchants Guild did not believe in mercy. They believed in profit. And when Station Omega-7 went dark, they believed in sending someone expendable. That someone was Marcus Webb. "You're the cheapest option," Guild Representative Thalner said, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "Human. Freelancer. No family. No one will ask questions if you don't come back." Marcus leaned against the cargo bay wall, arms crossed. "Sweet talk won't get you a discount." "The station went silent 3 cycles ago," Thalner continued, ignoring him. 22 crew members. Mixed species. We need someone to retrieve the cargo manifest and confirm casualties. Body recovery? If convenient. Marcus studied the alien's face. Thalner's species, the Vendrix, had negotiated 17 trade wars without firing a single shot. They measured everything in credits and risk margins. Human life. Low value. Human labor. Cheaper than drones in uncharted sectors. "Double your offer," Marcus said. "Unacceptable." "Then hire a Vendari sweeper team. They love this stuff." Marcus pushed off the wall. "Oh wait, they charge triple and actually expect danger pay." Thalner's mandibles clicked. "Fine. Double. But only if you return with the manifest." "Deal." The shuttle ride to Omega-7 took 6 hours. Marcus spent it reviewing station schematics and checking his gear. 1 plasma cutter. 1 atmosphere suit. 1 handheld scanner. 1 pistol with 4 magazines. The guild didn't arm him well. They never did. Omega-7 hung in space like a broken tooth. Half its lights were out. The docking ring rotated slowly, too slowly. Something had damaged the station's autopilot. Marcus sealed his helmet and guided the shuttle into the manual dock. The clamps engaged with a shudder. He waited. Listened. The station's hull groaned, but nothing else moved. He cycled the airlock. The corridor beyond was dark. Emergency lights flickered every few seconds, casting red shadows across the walls. Marcus activated his headlamp and stepped inside. Blood. Not human blood. The color was wrong, deep purple, almost black. It streaked across the floor in long smears, as if something had been dragged. Marcus followed the trail with his light. It led deeper into the station. "Cargo manifest first," he muttered. "Bodies second. Stay professional." The station's central hub was 3 levels down. Marcus moved carefully, checking every corner. The silence pressed against his ears. No hum of life support. No chatter of AI systems. Just his breathing and the slow creak of metal. He found the first body in the crew quarters. A Vendrix. Slumped against the wall, all 4 eyes staring at nothing. Its chest had been torn open. Not by weapons. By claws. Marcus knelt beside it, scanning the wounds with his handheld. No pulse. No heat signature. Dead at least 40 hours. He moved on. The second body was human. A woman, maybe 30. Her name tag read Chen. She'd barricaded herself inside a storage locker. It hadn't helped. The door was ripped open, hinges twisted like foil. Marcus closed her eyes. "Sorry, Chen." The central hub was worse. 17 bodies. Piled in the corner like trash. Different species. Different uniforms. All torn apart. The walls were covered in claw marks, deep gouges that went through reinforced steel. Marcus's hand drifted to his pistol. What the hell did this? A sound. Faint. Distant. Clicking. Marcus froze. He killed his headlamp and crouched low, listening. The clicking grew louder. Rhythmic. Like claws on metal. It was coming closer. Marcus backed toward the exit, keeping his eyes on the corridor. The clicking stopped. Silence. Then. A shape dropped from the ceiling. It was massive. 8 legs. Armored carapace. Mandibles the size of his forearm. Its eyes glowed faint green in the darkness. A Scythian harvester. Marcus didn't think. He ran. The creature lunged. Marcus dove through a doorway as the harvester's claw slammed into the wall behind him, punching through steel. He rolled to his feet and fired 3 shots. The plasma round sparked off its armor. Of course, Marcus gasped. Of course it's armored. He sprinted down the corridor, the harvester's claws clattering behind him. It was fast. Too fast. Marcus spotted a maintenance shaft and dove inside, yanking the hatch shut. The harvester slammed into it a second later. The metal buckled but held. Marcus crawled through the shaft, heart hammering. He could hear the creature tearing at the hatch behind him. He had maybe 30 seconds. He reached a junction and pulled himself up into the station's observation deck. He slammed the hatch and shoved a toolbox over it. The clicking stopped. Marcus pressed his back against the wall, breathing hard. His hands shook. He checked his ammo. 1 magazine left. Okay, he whispered. New plan. Get the manifest. Get out. Don't die. He pulled up the station schematic on his wrist display. The cargo bay was 2 levels down. Right where the harvester was hunting. Marcus closed his eyes. They're definitely not paying me enough for this. Marcus gave himself 60 seconds to think. The Scythian harvester was between him and the cargo bay. Going back wasn't an option. Going forward meant walking straight into its hunting ground. And waiting. The creature would find him eventually. Harvesters didn't give up. They were territorial. Efficient. Designed by nature to strip stations clean. He checked his gear. Plasma cutter. Pistol. 3 rounds left. 1 atmosphere suit. Not exactly a loadout for monster hunting, he muttered. But Marcus had one advantage, he'd survived 3 station failures before this. He knew how these places fell apart. And he knew how to use that. He pulled up the station schematic again. Omega-7's environmental controls were centralized in the command deck, 1 level above him. If he could vent the station's atmosphere in sections, he might buy himself time. Maybe even trap the harvester. It wasn't a great plan. But it was a plan. Marcus moved quietly through the observation deck, checking every shadow. The station groaned around him, metals settling in the vacuum. He reached the ladder to the command deck and climbed. The hatch was jammed. Marcus wedged his plasma cutter into the seal and fired a short burst. The metal glowed white-hot, then split. He shoved the hatch open and pulled himself through. The command deck was chaos. Consoles smashed. Chairs overturned. Blood, more purple, some red, splattered across the screens. In the center of the room, the captain's body sat slumped in the command chair. Human. Male. His hand was still on the emergency beacon. You tried, Marcus said quietly. Didn't work. He stepped over debris and accessed the environmental controls. The system was damaged but functional. He pulled up the station map and targeted 3 sections, the crew quarters, the cargo bay, and the maintenance corridors. If he vented those sections, the harvester would either suffocate or move to safer areas. Either way, Marcus could slip past. He keyed in the sequence. Venting in 30 seconds. Alarms blared. Red lights spun across the walls. Marcus sealed his helmet and braced. The station shuddered. Airlocks hissed open. Atmosphere rushed out in great howling bursts. Marcus watched the pressure gauges drop to 0 in targeted sections. Then, silence. He waited. Listened. No clicking. No movement. Okay, Marcus whispered. Let's move. He descended back through the observation deck and into the main corridor. The emergency lights were still flashing, but the air was gone. His suit's recycler hummed softly. Marcus moved toward the cargo bay, stepping carefully over debris. He passed more bodies. Some he recognized from the crew manifest. Others were too mangled to identify. The cargo bay doors were sealed. Marcus accessed the control panel and overrode the lock. The doors hissed open. Inside, the bay was pristine. No blood. No claw marks. Just rows of cargo crates stacked neatly against the walls. Marcus stepped inside, scanning the manifests with his handheld. Medical supplies. Rare minerals. Tech components. Standard guild shipment. All this for shipping logs, Marcus muttered. He downloaded the data and turned to leave. The harvester was waiting. It crouched in the doorway, mandibles spread wide. Its carapace was scorched in places, plasma burns from his earlier shots. But it was alive. And it was angry. Marcus raised his pistol. 3 rounds. He aimed for the eyes. The harvester lunged. Marcus fired. Once. Twice. 3 times. The first 2 rounds sparked off its armor. The third hit its left eye. The creature shrieked, a horrible, grinding sound, and staggered back. Marcus didn't wait. He grabbed a cargo crate and shoved it toward the harvester, then sprinted for the side exit. The creature recovered fast, smashing the crate aside and charging after him. Marcus dove into a service corridor and slammed the bulkhead shut. The harvester hit it a second later. The metal dented inward. Marcus ran. He could hear it behind him, tearing through bulkheads, ripping through walls. The station structure was failing. Alarms screamed. Sparks rained from overhead panels. Marcus spotted the docking ring ahead. His shuttle. 20 meters. 15. The harvester burst through the wall beside him. Marcus threw himself forward, rolling across the deck. The creature's claw slammed down where he'd been standing, punching through the floor. Marcus scrambled to his feet and fired his plasma cutter, a wild, desperate burst. The beam caught the harvester's damaged eye. The creature shrieked and reeled back. Marcus didn't look. He ran for the shuttle, slapped the airlock controls, and dove inside. The door hissed shut. He punched the launch sequence. The shuttle detached. Through the viewport, Marcus saw the harvester slam against the docking ring, mandibles snapping at the void. Then the station fell away, spinning slowly in the darkness. Marcus slumped in the pilot's seat, breathing hard. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. Double pay, he whispered. Double pay wasn't enough. The shuttle limped back to Guild Station Secundus on emergency thrusters. Marcus spent the flight staring at the manifest data on his wrist display. 22 dead. 1 survivor. 1 monster. And a cargo shipment worth 3 million credits. The guild didn't care about the bodies. They never did. When Marcus docked, Thalner was waiting. The Vendrick stood in the cargo bay, all 4 eyes fixed on him. "You're late," Thalner said. "Station's infested," Marcus replied, climbing out of the shuttle. "Scythian harvester. Killed the whole crew. Did you retrieve the manifest?" Marcus pulled the data chip from his suit and tossed it to Thalner. "Yeah. I got your precious shipping logs." Thalner caught it with one clawed hand. "Excellent. Your payment will be transferred within the hour." "That's it?" Marcus stared at him. 22 people are dead. You're not going to send a cleanup team? Quarantine the station? The station is a loss, Thalner said calmly. Quarantine would cost more than demolition. We'll file the incident and move on. Marcus felt something cold settle in his chest. You knew. Thalner's mandibles clicked. Irrelevant. You knew there was a harvester on that station. You sent me anyway. You survived. The contract is fulfilled. Thalner turned to leave. Consider yourself fortunate, human. Most freelancers don't return. Marcus's hand drifted to his pistol. Empty. He'd used the last round on the harvester. He watched Thalner walk away. The Vendricks paused at the doorway. A word of advice, Marcus Webb. If you wish to continue working in this sector, learn to stop asking questions. The guild values efficiency. Not sentiment. Then he was gone. Marcus stood alone in the cargo bay, the hum of the station's recyclers filling the silence. He thought about Chen. About the captain. About 17 other beings who died for a shipping manifest. He thought about walking away. Finding a new sector. A new life. But he didn't. Because 3 days later, Marcus received a message. Anonymous. Encrypted. It contained two things, a file on Thalner's recent contracts, and a single line of text. The guild doesn't value sentiment. But some of us do. Interested? Marcus stared at the message for a long time. Then he typed one word. Yes. The file opened. Inside were names. Dates. Contracts. Every expendable freelancer the guild had sent into known danger zones over the past 5 years. Humans, mostly. A few Draxi. Some unregistered species from outer rim colonies. All of them dead. All of them sent knowingly into death traps. Marcus scrolled through the list. 47 names. 47 beings who trusted the guild. Who'd needed the work. Who'd been deemed too cheap to protect. His name was number 48. The message updated. We're building a case. Galactic Commerce Tribunal. But we need witnesses. People who survived. People willing to testify. Another line appeared. We have 6 so far. You'd be the 7th. The guild will retaliate. They always do. But if we get enough voices, we can end this. Marcus closed his eyes. He thought about the easy choice. Take the money. Disappear. Let someone else fight. He thought about Chen's body in that storage locker. About the captain's hand still reaching for help that never came. He opened his eyes. What do you need? The response was immediate. Everything you saw. Everything you can prove. And your testimony in front of the tribunal. 3 months from now. Station Veritas. Can you make it? Marcus looked at his empty pistol. At his scorched atmosphere suit. At the data chip still sitting on the console. He picked it up. I'll be there. Good. Someone will contact you with details. Stay off-grid. The guild has eyes everywhere. The message deleted itself. Marcus sat in the silence of his shuttle, the weight of 47 names pressing down on him. He wasn't a hero. He wasn't even particularly brave. He was just a freelancer who'd survived one too many accidents. But maybe that was enough. He powered up the shuttle's systems and plotted a course. Not to his usual haunts. Not to the stations where guild contracts were easy to find. He headed to the outer colonies. Where the guild's reach was weaker. Where people remembered what it meant to fight back. 3 months until Station Veritas. 3 months to stay alive. 3 months to make sure 22 ghosts got their voices heard. Marcus Webb pulled his helmet back on and launched into the void. Behind him, Guild Station Secundus grew smaller. Ahead, the darkness of unknown space stretched endlessly. But for the first time in years, Marcus wasn't running toward the next paycheck. He was running toward something that mattered. And the Galactic Merchants Guild, efficient, ruthless, untouchable, was about to learn what happened when you underestimated a human with nothing left to lose. The war hadn't started with armies. It started with one freelancer, one data chip, and the names of 47 dead. And Marcus Webb had just joined the side that refused to forget.